Well, she got her own show today. Bye, dear.
Bye.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm worth waiting for. But anyway, yes, we watched this thing on biodynamics, and when you get sort of discouraged about how agribusiness and monoculture planting the same crop for 20 years straight and then expecting the earth to grow anything, and the fact that it appears now, I just may be a gloom and doom old fart, but it looks like there's a high possibility of our immediate future here on Earth, and I mean in the next even 100, 200, 300 years, if we have that much time as a species above ground, that we're really going to have a return to small subsistence farming as a way to stay occupied and healthy and alive. And a lot of people at the turn of the 20th century were sort of inspired and fascinated by the work, the teachings, the wisdom, the theories, if you will, of Rudolf Steiner, especially as it applied to growing things and such. And of course, the Rudolf Steiner people were many of the same people that were interested in the Rudolf Steiner theories and such were also the early members of the Golden Dawn and the OTO. Frieda Harris came out of a Rudolf Steiner environment, and that brings me to the segue to today's talk, because right now we're in the 30-degree period of the zodiacal year that is represented by, I won't say ruled by, but represented by the tarot court card of the Knight of Discs. And I posted a picture of the Knight of Discs this morning on Facebook, and it's right here. I'm going to show it to you in my mobile Studio A here. It's really one of the prettiest of the court cards. It looks sort of peaceful, and the horse that he's on there it's a knight's horse, but it's a horse that could probably pull, a plow, or it's a big, substantial farm horse kind of thing. And the knight's got his hat kicked back there like he's wiping the sweat from his brow. And that disc that he has, that shield, is like a big plate. And it's a plate that's just so big you could just pile on the feast that would feed a whole village with that plate. Now the knights in the tarot, or other decks call them kings, are representative of the Yod, of Yod He Vav He. And when applied to the elements, that's fire. Yod He Vav He, fire, water, air, earth. Well, he is fire. of earth. And when we think about things that are fire of earth, the first thing that sort of comes to mind physically would be like a volcano, or the volcanic fire that's actually in the earth, in a mountain and such. And I was sort of fascinated by this card today, and this is sort of what I wanted to share. I'm going to read what Crowley had to say about it, and also it turned into a little Yi Ching divination, because I always like to think that whatever even arbitrarily comes to mind, particularly when I share my little few minutes with you every day, I have to ask myself, what does this have to do with me right now? What's my message for this? How am I to apply this? What is my holy guardian angel's particular message to me as I'm going about my day? And in this particular case, I got a little message. But first, let me read what Crowley has to say about the Knight of Discs. The Knight of Discs represents the fiery part of Earth, and refers in particular to the phenomena of mountains, earthquakes, and gravitation, but also represents the activity of Earth regarded as the producer of life. He rules the 21st degree of Leo to the 20th degree of Virgo, and is thus concerned greatly with agriculture. This warrior is short and sturdy in type. He's clothed in great solidity of plate armor, but his helmet, which is crested with the head of a stag, is well, here, I'll just get this out again. His helmet, which is crested with the head of a stag, is thrown back, for at the moment his function is entirely confined to the production of food. For this reason, he is armed with a flail. The disc, a flail or a flail type farm implement, is often used to beat, like raw wheat, and separate the wheat from the shaft and all of that. It's a farm implement. The disc he bears, moreover, is very solid. It represents nutrition. These characteristics are borne out by his horse, a Shire horse, solidly planted on all 4 feet, as was not the case with the other knights. Their horses are prancing and rearing and galloping, okay? Not this one. Horse is just chilling out. He rides through the fertile land. Even the distant hills are cultivated. Cultivated fields. Those whom he symbolizes, now we're talking about, Crowley is venturing in the world of character descriptions of people, of human beings that bear these characteristics. Okay, he's not saying if your birthday particularly falls into this this period, 21st degree of Leo to 20th degree of Virgo. Not in particular, he's not saying that people whose birthday are this card, but people who exhibit the characteristics that this particular pairing of elements suggest. Those whom he symbolizes tend to be dull, heavy, and preoccupied with material things. They are laborious and patient, but would have little intellectual grasp even of matters which concern them most closely. Now, you may know plenty of Leos with Aries rising or something like that have these same characteristics. So don't be too quick to say, oh, my uncle is one of these and he's a real guy. He's smart, But anyway, their success in these is due to instinct, to the imitation of nature. They lack initiative. Their fire is the smoldering fire of the process of growth. It's the nurturing nitrogen in the soil, the smoldering fire of the process of growth. If ill-dignified, that wasn't ill-dignified. If ill-dignified, these people are hopelessly stupid, slavish, quite incapable of foresight even in their own affairs or of taking any intelligent interest in anything outside themselves. They are curlish, surly, and jealous. Jealous in a dull sort of way, he adds. You can be excitingly jealous. And jealous, in a dull sort of way, of what they instinctively realize is the superior state of others. But they have not the courage or intelligence to better themselves. Yet they can somehow become president. Yet they are always irritably meddling about petty matters. They interfere with and inevitably spoil whatever comes their way. In the I Ching, the fiery part of Earth is represented by the 62nd hexagram, Sao Quo. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it. This is as important as its complement, Kung Fu, see under the Prince of Cups. It is a big Khan, the trigram of Luna, which each line is doubled. But it's also suggestive of a geomantic figure, Conjunctio, Mercury in Virgo, corresponding very closely with the fire of Earth attribution in the Kabbalistic system. To Chinese, I'll talk more about this I Ching thing in a second. To Chinese sages, moreover, the shape of the figure gave the idea of a bird. Okay. In the last parking lot, I tried to draw a bird out of that hexagram. Now, maybe it's the Chinese character for that hexagram that looks like a bird, because that's the stupidest damn bird I could project upon the figure of this 62nd hexagram. But anyway, I reject that. Let's see. To the Chinese sages, moreover, the shape of the figure gave the idea of a bird. The meaning is, according to modified by human influence of a more frivolous and irresponsible kind, Shakespeare's little wanton harlotry. The French cynics souvent femme varie, and the fickle mob of Coriolanus, indeed of history itself. But Mercury in Virgo symbolizes intelligence, an even creative idea applied to agriculture. And this, once more, harmonizes perfectly with the 10 of discs. Now, I talk about the 10 of discs and the Princess of Discs a lot, because they're the magic lowest of the low of the whole Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh formula. But I digress. Harmonizes perfectly with the 10 of disc, which is ruled by this planet, Mercury, in this sign, Virgo. This adds to the superabundant mass of proof that this whole system of symbolism is based upon realities of nature, as understood by the materialist school of science. If such a school survives in some obscure and obsolescent university, I think it'll be hard to find that program at the moment. Such coherence, such introverted exfoliation cannot be the chance parallelism of the dreams of nebulous philosophies. The character described by this card is therefore exceedingly complex, yet admirably well knit. But its dangers are indicated by the symbols of Luna and the bird. In the happiest cases, the qualities thus indicated will be romance and imagination. But overweening ambition, the pursuit of ignis fatuus, superstition, and the tendency to waste time in idle dreaming are perils all too frequently found in such sons of the soil. Thomas Hardy has painted many admirable portraits of this type. Ill-starred, indeed, and black with bile are those who have profaned the sacred fire, not enkindling earth to new, more copious, more varied life, but preening in deceptive moonlight, turning their faces from their Mother Earth. Wow. Okay. Besides our sort of inspirational weekend in at least contemplating the magic of biodynamics this weekend, and faced with the wild and crazy and rather depressing reaction that the Earth is having to the current climate crisis. This sort of struck home to me today. And in order for me to try to, besides having something to share with you today, I turned again to the I Ching to see, well, what is my particular message? What advice is my angel trying to give me with this? And so I did turn to the hexagram. Where did I put my... I've got my goofy little I Ching of Milo here. I did turn to the little hexagram 62 that Crowley was talking about. And I randomly chose a moving line by the flip of a coin. So I got to hexagram 62 with a moving line in the fifth place, which changes it, I believe, to hexagram 31. Changes from the Knight of Discs to the Knight of Swords, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, to the Knight of Swords. It's hexagram 32. So here is preponderance of the small. Keep your expectations low. Don't expect big things to come out of this. Concentrate on the little stuff. Keep it simple and unpretentious. Do the correct thing in the correct way at the correct time. Well, that's always good advice. And if I'm taking it sort of as a personal message, it's sort of an answer that makes me sigh a little with relief. But it's the moving line that, to me, contains the specific message. And it's in the 5th place. And it says, remember the 7 samurai, great warriors out of work. You need these guys right now. Or one of my favorite movies is The Three Amigos. We need the Three Amigos. We need Steve Martin. And remember the 7 samurai? And this, of course, is my paraphrasing of every one of these lines of the I Ching. Remember the 7 samurai, great warriors out of work. You need these guys right now. And as that changes to its opposite, it forms the hexagram 32. Also, which is the Knight of Swords. Duration. Marriage. The courtship's over. The man gets off his knees. The woman is still in control. Living force and energy. Enduring because it is flexible. Moving yet stable, like the stars. Well, that's what I'm chewing on today. Not sure what all that means, but I almost got a chill when I read the message that I need the 7 samurai, the mighty warriors out of work, that I need them right now. So, until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.